I'm going to do some housekeeping real quick. If you would, let me know if you can hear this. Unfortunately, I'm still having to use my phone at the moment. I'm in a new place, and while I'm waiting on someone to confirm that they can hear me, I'm going to take care of some housekeeping. I am in a new town in Wyoming. It is very cold outside, and I love it. I'm near, I'm near Pinedale, Wyoming. Um, If you would, just let me know whether or not you can hear me because I have no idea if I'm in and out because I do not have Wi-Fi here. However, I do have about three. It shows 3 bars sometimes, and I don't know if you can hear me or not. But hello, Esther uh, Pujols. Let me know. Can you hear me? Yes, no, maybe so. Also, I'm on a gigantic ranch. Covey says hello. Colin Hackett, hello from Indianapolis, Indiana. El Favor, yes, I assume that means yes, you can hear me. Henry the Goat, respect to your son Parker. Thank you. Nice. Hello, Panna. All right, good. Y'all can hear me. I'm in a new town. I'm on this gigantic cattle ranch that I can't give too much information because of, well, I just can't. But I'm on this big cattle ranch. And the property that I'm supposed to be moving into is not quite ready. It's going to be ready here either right before or right after New Year's. At which point, I will quit going live from my phone, and I'm looking forward to getting my podcast equipment set up so this looks a little more professional, and I'll be talking about things that I like to talk about. Second thing is I've just about been convinced to start broadcasting not just on here but on a Patreon. Apparently, there's a video. I'm not familiar with it, and the only reason is well, the main reason is everyone knows me in real life and has watched me on this channel for a while knows that I've kind of got a potty mouth, and I can be really blunt, which is what I'm about to be. I'm about to be as blunt as YouTube algorithms will let me be regarding this OF chick named Lily Phillips. And this 23-year-old young woman has just ruined her life. And the amount of male influencers with big accounts who are showing this chick who knowingly and intentionally ruined her life by getting railed intentionally getting railed by over 100 dudes in one day. The amount of dudes that are simping for her is pathetic. And I'm just going to call some of them out. And I don't know the names of all of them because I don't follow these guys. I just, apparently this chick's trending. And some can say, well, Caleb, you're kind of hypocritical because you're talking about her too and you're getting paid on your YouTube channel. Yeah, okay, whatever. It's pretty well known that I don't suck up to women intentionally for the sake of getting sympathy, like these pathetic losers. Like the only one that I really saw that I'm like, oh, dude, like I kind of like this guy too. Ross DeBoss is a dude that I follow on Instagram. I generally agree with a lot of what he says. Not completely on everything, but generally agree. Ross, I think his name is Christopher Ross Bennett, I believe is his name. He goes by Ross the Boss, big old burly bearded fella. And on most topics that he talks about, he's generally spot on, and I generally like the guy. But today, oh my God, he's usually Mr. Happy, Smiley. Sometimes he puts this little tinfoil hat thing on, and he mocks some of the things that I mock, like the lockdowns and the jabs and the masks. So again, that's why I follow him. I like him. I agree with him. He's got a huge following. But today, he had the sad face, and he was just so sympathetic for this poor mistreated girl, and just sucking up and pretending to care and pretending to say stuff like Jesus still loves you, and I'm sure Jesus does still love her. But I'm not going to get on here and act like this 23-year-old grown woman who is otherwise very intelligent. She's not mentally handicapped. She's not, it doesn't appear that she has, she's doing any of this out of duress. She can put two sentences together and she can make coherent statements. She literally set this up knowing what the consequences are of having 100+ dudes rail her in one sitting. And then apparently there's this other YouTuber who was documenting not the act itself, but interviewing her. Obviously YouTube's not going to let them show her getting plowed by these 100 disgusting men. But he's interviewing her after the fact, and she's in tears. Imagine my shock. She's in tears, and you just go watch it for yourself. It's pathetic. It's predictable. And now she's getting all kinds of sympathy from people like Ross DeBoss. And I don't even think he's necessarily, I think he's been a little dishonest. I could be totally wrong, but I think he's more sucking up to the female gender in general because a lot of women are like mortified, as they should be. Like this, there's people calling for banning and shutting down OF, which I'm not a big fan of banning things, but if you're going to ban something, that'd be a good one to ban because my goal in this is again, I'm not going to suck up to women. And it's not that I have a hatred of women. I love women. In fact, a lot of my friends, probably most of my friends, are women. And one on a side note, that being said, a lot of the shit talking that I do about women like Lily Phillips and their obviously deranged, loose morals, it's a lot of women actually appreciate what I say in my commentary about the actions of these otherwise lost souls like Lily Phillips. Because a lot of these women are married or they're with children or they're young and they're responsible, they've taken care of themselves and not behaved like Lily Phillips. And they appreciate what I say. So this is not a hatred. This is of women. This certainly not. I don't. Some people say I'm misogynistic, but it's not a hatred. It's pointing. It's just being really, really blunt. I'm not going to beat around the bush. That type of behavior, whether you agree with how men view that type of behavior or not, it is a real thing. Men generally look down at that towards that type of behavior. Again, it doesn't matter if you agree with it or not agree with it. That's how it is. That's how it will always be. You could say, well, she's liberated and she's a grown woman, and how dare you say she can't go have fun however she pleases? She can. She most certainly can. My objection is A, I find it disgusting, and B, I would really hope I could get to other young girls who have not ruined their lives as of yet and done something as disgusting as letting 100 dudes on purpose rail you. Ladies, young ladies, if you're just starting out life or you're graduating high school soon and you see all these dim-witted, idiotic girls glorifying this sort of behavior, maybe you're mad at your parents or you're mad at your boyfriend, and it just looks like something the girls could have fun, go doing, and just get drunk one night and go do it. I'm telling you right now, you absolutely will regret it. It's not funny. It's not cute. That girl is in tears. And yes, it is, I guess, sad, but she is a grown ass woman, 23 years old, fully grown. There's no excuses. Again, she's not mentally handicapped. She's just, I don't know what you call it, made some terrible, terrible choices, and no respectable man for the rest of her life will ever take her seriously and give her the time of day, much less a genuine hand in marriage, because she doesn't deserve it. This is a going to be a really, really, really hard lesson for her. And again, I'm not calling for violence for her. I'm not calling for hatred of her. I'm just telling you, whether you agree with that type of lifestyle or not, the general public, men in general, view that sort of behavior as vomiting, vile, and disgusting. And coincidentally, a lot of women do too. And the only reason I know that is I have friends who happen to be women, and they'll tell me in private messages aside saying, you know, hey, Caleb, you take a lot of shit for being a little coarse, a little rough, but I appreciate what you do. I'm married with X amount of kids, or I'm young and I'm 25 or 28 and I've had a relationship or two or three or serious relation, long-term relationship, but I don't act like that. And to that I say, thank you. I appreciate someone noticing that because again, I'm not out to crap on women. I'm not out to be hateful towards women. But I will with unapologetically point to that sort of behavior if you act like that, young ladies, and especially if you go public with it. Just prepare yourself. Yes, you'll be able to find men that'll date you. Obviously, this girl has no problem. She's beautiful physically. She's a physically attractive, beautiful woman. She has no problem getting dates. But that is all she will ever be. And if in years to come, when she's in her 30s and 40s and starts aging, she gets lucky enough to find some man to lie to spend, actual relationship with, if he's worth his salt on anything, if he is a respectable man himself, she's going to have to lie to him. And so, and apparently some people have no problem lying. That's not my forte. It's not my thing. I'd rather not have money or not have, views or whatever. That's just not my thing. I can't imagine lying to someone that you've grown fond of and told somebody like her future man that having to lie to him. See, the bad thing is if he, not if, when she's so famous now for being so gross, she may find a guy who doesn't recognize her, but eventually, when he introduces her to his mama or his buddies, someday they'll find out. And if she lied, so there's going to be two hurts there. One hurt is he fell in love with a hoer. You'll just have to read between the lines. That's my Scottish pronunciation of a very loose woman. That's the reason I'm moving over. Not, I'll still do lives here, but I'm going to be moving over to Patreon so I can be a little more blunt and not have to self censor. But anyway, she's going to have to lie to him. He's going to be hurt that he gave his heart to a hoor, and then he's going to be hurt that she lied about it. And it's not going to end well for her. She's going to have the hardest time finding somebody, and that's just the breaks. So, young ladies, I implore you, if you've ever thought, even for a second, that because you watched, I don't know, Katy Perry or some moron like this Lily Phillips girl glorifying it, that it would be a fun idea, or if people make, I don't know what they call them, stitches or whatever, reaction videos to it, may think, looking how fun this looks and glorifying the potential money you could make doing it. I'm telling you right now, you most certainly, absolutely will regret it. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's judging by her own reaction to her own documentary, it apparently isn't fun. Gee, who would have thought having a bunch of strange men penetrate you over and over and over? That sounds like most decent women's that I know's absolute worst nightmare. There's a word for it that I can't even say. It's the R word. So, anyways, that's my spiel on it. Obviously, I'm not in favor of it, and you douchebags like Ross the Boss, shame on you. It's so obvious you're sucking up to other women who are trying to make this Lily chick not feel bad. You're just sucking up to women for clout or views or whatever. It's pathetic. There's people that do stupid shit all the time. I saw a guy a few years ago. It wasn't Jackass, but it's kind of like Jackass, the movie, where they do all that crazy, wild stuff. Um, Except it wasn't Jackass the movie, but it's just that nuts. This dude stripped down to his underwear and stood on a park bench or a bench in front of a cactus, a very large, very prickly cactus. And he wanted some views and he wanted some attention. And so he stood there in his underwear looking at the camera and jumped on the cactus. And guess what happened? He got full of cactus thorns. Duh. But you know what I didn't see? I didn't see people like Ross DeBoss or any other influencer getting on social media with the long face saying, I'm sorry this happened to you, young man. Um, that was a bad thing you did, and you're going to be in a lot of pain. And all those thorns are going to be very painful. And the one that's stuck in your eye, now you're blind. I'm so sorry. Jesus still loves you. Not once. Not once. It didn't happen. It doesn't happen. It never happens. But oh my God, when a young girl does it, particularly a young pretty girl does it, something really stupid, and then she starts crying. Oh my God, the limp wristed people like Ross DeBoss, and I'm not just picking on Ross DeBoss. He's just the first big name that I saw doing it. There's loads of them, and in real life, you see you'll. I promise. Go talk to this to other men. You're going to find plenty of dudes that are just going to feel so sorry for. Those are the weak, 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 pathetic men whose testosterone is just low. It's almost probably non-existent. And I'm not trying to sound like Andrew Tate because Andrew Tate is just as pathetic by pretending to be a woman in order to con a bunch of weak men out of millions of dollars by pretending to be a woman on the other side of a computer. He's just as pathetic. He's maybe not just as pathetic, but yeah, he's pathetic. So, anyways, I'm gonna get in. I've given my 2 cents. I'm gonna get into. I'm gonna read some of y'all's comments, and we'll go from there. Hello, Breh, BREH. I'm not sure you say it. JB is about Hooters. Who's JB? I'm not sure. NP Covey, sorry, seeming rude. Y'all talking to each other. Hello, Tori. But if you put enough heart reactions to a girl's post, they will finally want to get with you. No, they won't. What's up, Mazen? Old head, young head Mazen. Abel says, hi. Uh, Pranad Bisha. I'm butchering your name. This alpha male thing is pissing me off. For me, I'm not an alpha male. Not by a long shot. I've taken way too much responsibility for my own actions. Much more of a not a beta. I'm a sigma male. Bro, looking younger than ever. When? Thanks, man. I'm down to 181 pounds, and I'm running out in this really cold. It was Mazin. It was 6 degrees when I got up, and I love it cold. I keep the heater on low, like 55 degrees, and I've got this big old cushy bed, and I got my little heating pad under my butt. Oh, I just love it. Oh, and I found a new love for Starbucks style coffee. I'm not paying $8 for a Starbucks, but I bought the raw sugar, cane sugar, not any no corn syrup or anything junk like that. No food coloring. The regular coffee and cocoa powder, raw cocoa powder, and heavy cream. I'm in love. I make like three big not pots, but three big 20-ounce servings a day. I love it. Disguise hamster games. No idea what's happening, but your voice reminds me of my late grandfather, and it's comforting. Huh? I've heard people say my scratchy voice is comforting, but not that I remind them of the grandpa. Though I am getting old, got the gray hair to prove it. Still got some blonde up here, but I got the gray on the side. So thanks. I hope it's a pleasant reminder disguise hamster games. Abel says, "Hi, Panna. Are you still on the road?" No, I am in. I'm near Pinedale, Wyoming. I'm on a gigantic cattle ranch. I'm temporarily staying in this like bunkhouse for the next couple 3 weeks, and um, I'm moving to a big, much bigger log, basically a log cabin that's on the same property. This place is like huge, like thousands of acres. I've never seen so many damn cows in my life. Like there's thousands of cows. It's truly amazing. Anyway, I'm here until the other fellow moves out for whatever reason. He's moving, and I'm going to be moving in and setting up my full podcast again and attempt my hand at going live regularly in a more professional setting where I'm not sitting there holding my phone. Colin Hackett, you should check out the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland one day. I visited there once and it was beautiful. Okay, I've been to Maryland. I just don't like the Northeast. It's way too crowded and it's pretty, but it's just way too crowded. Maz, I'm about to get my parents from the airport. First time seeing them 45 months. Oh, nice. Well, go hug the folks and talk to you later. Take care, man. Young man, Pranad. I'm just going to call you Pranad. That's all I can say. No, uh, not you, Caleb. I'm talking about the dork who built the little muscle and act like they own the world. Oh, okay, okay. Brooklyn Calthorpe. Hi, Caleb. I love your channel, and I haven't watched you in months. Last time I watched you, I thinking you were watching that Jeffrey Dahmer show, and you were talking about it. I presume that's been a while. I think I remember that. That had to have been summer of 22 when I had my daily podcast going. Tori, can't wait to see your podcast come back. The world is giving us plenty of content. No kidding. Yeah, no kidding. Yep, Mazen, I'm returning it. Panda, in New York, it can take like an hour sometimes to go 15 miles. I've flown into New York a couple times and I've driven my Dodge Viper SRT 10T in New York. I'll never do that again. That concrete jungle is, I can't do it. I'm traveling next, Colin Hackett, and I'm traveling next to Las Vegas in January. Parker just got back from Las Vegas. He went to the NFRs up there. And I mean, I'm used to it, but for some people, I could imagine they would go crazy. Michael Arledge, hi, love your videos. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Nicole Crone, how are your kids doing? They're great. They're all grown, but I don't talk about them. Pranad, how are the boys? They're great. I don't talk about them. I've made several videos explaining as much as I can explain. About 3 or 4 months ago when I was back in Florida. And the reason I don't talk about them, long story short, is they're grown. They have their own private lives, and I've been asked that question a gajillion times. How's Park out of the kids? So much that I just, if I spent my whole time answering that every time, wouldn't be fair to everybody else watching. So, yeah, the kids are good. You know, we have our problems. There are problems. I'm not gonna lie and say everything's perfect. It's not. But long story, short answer is we're fine. Michael Aldridge, is it cold there? It's cold here in Alabama. Yes, it was 6 degrees when I woke up. It got up to 24. It's been average in the mid to lower 20s and for the highs, and I love it. I go out running in it. Brooklyn Calthorpe, you're one of my inspirations that got me to go back to doing YouTube. Oh, nice. The reason I took a break was because I was getting no views on my channel and I was getting a bit upset. I know the feeling, Brooklyn. If you'll notice, look up there. I've got a whopping 18 people watching on it, and this channel has over 500,000 subscribers. I know the feeling. Part of the reason that's yet another reason I'm going to be trying out different platforms uh, on Patreon. I didn't even know until recently they had a video platform, but they do. And it'll be a nominal amount, like $1 or $2 or something to watch or whatever, something like that. Panna, you think Wyoming is your permanent home? At this point, yes. I have no plans of leaving. That could change. Life changes. The Bitcoin bull run is on like Donkey Kong right now. For the past year, y'all might have saw me. I know Panna and a couple of Mazin, y'all saw me up on the mountain. I was literally sleeping on a mountain. I can't do that now because it's way too cold. I was going back and forth between getting a permanent land resident here in Wyoming or buying another sailboat, a real sailboat. I've not totally given up on sailing yet. I just can't help it. I've got this urge to do an Atlantic crossing. I don't know why, I just want to do it. There's these young girls like 14 years old that are crossing Atlantic Ocean by themselves, solo in a 30 or 40-foot sailboat. And I'm like, it can't be that hard. It can't be, no offense, but I'm more qualified at just about everything than a 14-year-old girl. And if she can do it, by golly, I know I can do it. I'm not trying to be a butthead. These young girls, I'm really proud of what they're able to accomplish. 14, 15, 16, 18 years old, solo sailing across the Atlantic. If, in my opinion, young ladies, if you're going to aspire to be like someone, do not be like this hoor, Lily Phillips, who has ruined her life forever, ruined her life. I'm not saying she can't ever enjoy things, but she'll never find a man, a quality man who would truly accept her for who she is because of who she made herself to be. This nasty woman that, took on 1,000 dudes. Like she's got a body count of over 1,000 in 1 year. I would suggest if you were just looking for adventure, there's some girls. If I think about it, I'll put a link to a couple of their sailing channels in the video here. These girls are admirable. They they've gone to sailing school. This one girl I follow called Lauren 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 Landers, I think is her name. She's like 23 and she's been solo sailing for I don't know several years now. And she's making a hell of a living. It looks like her views are way up. Of course, probably because she shows her butt, but it, that's not all you. She actually does do some sailing, and she's got a degree in uh, oceanography, ocean something that I don't have that I'm not familiar with. She took courses on working on her four-cylinder diesel engine, although she's obviously not a mechanic, it's funny to watch her. But she can change her alternator. She can do. She knows what to look for. The point is, she's trying and she's having fun and she's sailing all over the Caribbean. I think if I'm not mistaken, she's based out um, of Bahamas. That's where she likes to be. But she sails all over the place and she has a good time. So, young ladies, if you're going to aspire to be like somebody, try being like one of these sailing chicks. They have a lot of fun and they get to sail and they don't ruin themselves by being like this poor, pathetic Lily Phillips or whatever her name is. Covey, they are living their lives. I'm proud. My kids, yeah. Pranad, I saw the running 10 miles video. Okay, I'm 17 and I can barely do like three. Okay, yeah. I did. I ran 10 miles and I'm an old fart, age 47, and I did it. And I'm glad I did it. I don't run 10 miles every day, but I run between 2 and 6 miles every day. Colin, I would like to sail one day. It's fun. I like to hike too. Last trip was in El Paso. Nicole Crone, I've been watching you for a while and I'm so proud of you for how far you've come and congratulations on being sober. Nicole, thank you. That means a lot to me, like genuinely. That's like, other than raising my kids to the best of my ability and not giving up on it, it's probably one of my biggest accomplishments that I'm most proud of. 4.5 years, it was 4 years back in August 21st of 2020. Do you hate Texas now? Oh yeah, I have for years. I despise it's just a big. I can't stand Texas. There's nothing about Texas that I like. Maybe a few select people, individual people, but the culture can't stand it. It's too hot. It's too crowded. Too many sirens. They're the worst as far as family courts. Obviously, what they did to me. Can't stand them. I have nothing positive to say about them other than a few good people that I know that I consider friends. Covey, I'm too broke to sail. Plus, I'm saving for college. The viral Parker video led me to you, which caused me to finally stand up for myself against my mom since she got arrested. I've been at my dad's. Oh, okay. Well done. Sorry to hear about your mom, but you'd be surprised, Covey. There's a sailing dude that I follow called Chasing Latitudes. His name's Chris. He's a professional captain. He delivers sailboats all over the world, and give him a shout. He covers every topic you could, including being how to sail while being broke. And he's one of those guys. He doesn't show his face much, but he's a hilarious. He's a hoot to watch. He's every bit as obnoxious as I am. He he talks about he doesn't give a crap about people crying in his comments. He's got his opinions on things, and he's admittedly on the spectrum. And I kind of suspected he was just by the way he talks, but he's very, very knowledgeable. And again, that's called chasing latitudes. If you're interested in sailing, he's the guy that will give you the background of what it's really like. Give you prices on boats. He calls certain boats trash cans. A lot of boats are trash cans, but on some sailboats, if you're only paying like 5 grand for them, it's yeah, it's a trash can. But he doesn't insult people for only being able to afford cheap boats. But if you pay like 100 grand for something that's only worth 10 grand, then that is a trash can. Chloe says, "Hi, Covey. She assaulted a 12-year-old. Is your mother? Uh, her boyfriend's kid. She's out now. She's convinced I'm lying and not feeling safe with her. Yikes. I'm glad you got away. Nicole, my father got arrested because he relapsed with drinking, and I'm getting emotionally abused by my grandmother, and watching your videos made me feel better." Well, Nicole, I'm glad to be able to help. I'm sorry that's happening to you. When I hear stuff like this, as sad as it is, my best advice overall, and this is pretty much advice for anybody, pretty much no matter what crisis you're facing, no matter what age you are, the stronger you can get physically, and I mean go to the gym, and if you can't afford the gym or don't have a ride at the gym, doing push-ups every single day. Almost everybody can do push ups. Almost anybody can go outside and go for a run. Get your heart rate up doing rigorous exercise for at least 20 minutes a day. Every single day. Stop eating crap out of a box if you can. Eat. And that's one of the videos, and I'm going to get into a lot more details my workout routine and my diet and what I've learned that actually works. And anyway, get strong and educate yourself. Watch YouTube videos like educational ones and read books. And what I've found is, and stay sober. If you stay sober and you educate yourself, you're not a dummy, and you're really strong, you're really fast, you're really able. If you get the trifecta of being strong and smart, you are really, really, really much more difficult for people to fuck with. You really are. You'll find that even in the real world, or in the real world, that people, it's no different. It's not that much different from high school than it is in the real world. People tend to pick on the weak. Bullies are everywhere. There'll always be bullies. And bullies tend not to pick on people who are really strong and take care of themselves. And the reason I'm saying this is some people say it's selfish. Don't be selfish. You got to look out for others. And there's a point to that. It's good to help others. I'm not saying it's not. But if you're broke and you're weak and you're on your last leg and you can just barely take care of yourself, you have no business trying to help someone else. Focus on yourself. Get yourself strong. Get yourself educated. Get the bullies off of you, whether it's the bully down the street or your own parent. Get them off of you first and foremost. It's not selfish. And if anyone says you're selfish, then fine, F them. You're being selfish, whatever. It's time to make something of ourselves. Gentleman says, Nicole, you're the one choosing to stay. I don't know Nicole's specifics. I think if I'm not, she's young. Uh, so in a way, it's your fault for getting abused. Okay, I don't know, and unless you know this Nicole person personally, you don't know either. You're kind of being a dick. But then again, this person also has a point. Own your mistakes. If you're screwing up and you're intentionally staying in a situation that is bad for you, knowing that you have alternative choices, this person's absolutely right. Not knowing your situation, I don't know. Covey, I'm sorry, WTF. About what? Tori, I educated myself every hour of the day. Well, I know you do. I see your posts. Scorpio, Parker's doing great. He's a grown man. Y'all, my voice is kind of going, and it's chilly in here. I gotta go turn the heat on. And I'm gonna go make me another Starbucks style coffee, really cheap and just full of cream and sugar. And I love it so much without all the poison. So I'm gonna let y'all go. Benna, is social media an addiction? I think so. Yeah. Nicole, I'm going to live with my stepmom soon. You see, that's what I mean. She's a kid. She's young. She's not on her own. So young people don't always have a choice where they live, obviously. My whole channel's centered around that. Colin Hackett, stay strong. Got to go by. Take care. Tori, stay away from the yellows and the reds. I assume that's an expression that I'm not familiar with. I thought you were going to stay away from the yellow snow. I do know what that means. So, anyway, I may go live a little more from here. It'll be on my phone until either the last week of December or the first week of January. And I'm looking forward to setting up my podcast and doing formal live stuff, having guests, that sort of thing. So, anyway, y'all take care and I'll chat with you soon. Consider not hitting your children. All right, y'all stay sober. Bye.